And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto, episode 553. Today is Thursday, February 27th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
And today's top stories. Price of Bitcoin drops after 150 million liquidated on BitMEX. Iranian general calls for use of crypto to evade sanctions. Sanctions? Crypto mom accuses SEC of shifting standards following Bitcoin ETF rejection. Now we on the same team.
Now we on the same
team. Steven Seagal charged by SEC for promoting 2018 ICO, and half of Cash App's revenue now comes from Bitcoin. But first and foremost, what is going on with these prices?
Oh yeah. So for those of you who have been in panic mode the last 2 days, calling for Bitcoin to go to 3,000, like I said last show, stop panicking and just stack sats. The prices right now, Bitcoin is at $8,934, up 2% today. Ethereum up 6%, is at $236. Ripple at 25 cents is up 7%. Bcash at $333 is up 5%. Litecoin, with the biggest day so far, up at $64 is up almost 8%. And EOS at $3.69 is up 4%. So all green today, it looks like we said, green days, red days. In the macro view, don't get shaken out before the halving.
Shout out to Crypto Kobe. I always wear that secure the bag shirt now. When that price drops, this is memento for it.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Southside Blockchain.
There we go.
Shout out y'all.
All right, price of Bitcoin drops after $150 million liquidated on BitMEX. Of course, every time the price of Bitcoin drops, everyone around the world literally is trying to figure out why. It looks like yesterday's culprit is now going to be blamed on BitMEX. It looks like, of course, according to the data and analytics provider Skew on February 26th, that over $150 million worth of Bitcoin was liquidated on the trading exchange BitMEX, the most seen since the new year began. Millions of dollars of long and short positions caused the value of the crypto to fall to $8,580, a decrease in more than 6%. So was this like a single whale, or was this, as they said, a lot of positions, or one person?
It was a lot of over-leveraged positions. You have to remember, people, if you're doing leverage trading, usually the point of maximum pain is what the next move is going to be, because exchanges want to make money, and BitMEX, they trade on their exchange based on your orders. So if there's a million long orders and everybody's over leveraged 10x 25x, you're usually going to see a huge quick drop like this straight through those orders just to liquidate some of the noobs, and then the price bounced right back. As we saw, it went to 8,600 right back to 9,000 pretty much. That has happened over and over, and because of leverage trading with novices, we are starting to see this a lot more with huge drops very quickly.
And one thing I want to throw out there, I see in this article again, I mean, it's got to be some type of residency, like people like Britney Spears has in Vegas, or Migos at Dre's. I don't know. But I see in this article, they mentioned again, Tom Lee, Fundstrat Global Advisors, predicting the price of Bitcoin for this summer. And then again, I kind of clicked on it too. On this Cointelegraph front page, first article of the day right now is another Tom Lee. 5 simple reasons for a Bitcoin bull run in 2020. Cointelegraph. Oh, man. Stop. Tom Lee has been on for 2 years straight talking about what the price is going to be. He don't know, just like the next person. All right. In fact, I haven't even seen any like actual analysis from him that could give me cause to believe what he's saying. Besides, every 3 or 4 months, I'm saying, "Oh yeah, it's about time for the bull run." Like,
he says based on the 200-day moving average. The problem with that is that the 200-day moving average can move.
Right.
I mean, you can have a target based on it, but that's if everything continues up exactly the way it is. We all know prices don't go up in a straight line, so he's been calling for it for so long now that at this point, he's basically covered his tracks. Because if it ever hits it, he's like, "Yeah, I've been calling for this
for 3 years."
For 3 years, yeah.
And another thing, when you talk about the 200-day moving average, one of the things you mentioned a lot is the black swan events. The 200-day movement average didn't calculate Libra coming out with a coin, Facebook coming out with a coin. It didn't calculate a government regulator or the SEC going after ICOs. It didn't calculate so many different things.
And calculate coronavirus.
Right, and calculate coronavirus. So when you talk about, again, TA, historical price charts, trends, and all that stuff, 200-day movement averages, and all this good stuff, like, is not calculating a lot of fundamental stuff that's happening right in front of us that's predicting the price, i.e. the price of Bitcoin dropping, this time being blamed on a liquidation from BitMEX, which actually makes kind of a lot of sense. So you can't say this is going to be repriced. I know we're in a bull cycle and all this. Then one day, some wealthy people or some poor people, regardless if they're liquidated or if they actually sell some of their crypto, they decide to leave the market. So, CoinTel, I'm just tired of saying Tom Lee's name. Like, come on, Tom Lee. Come on, Tom Lee. You know better too.
Stop
Tom
flooding
Lee.
the streets with all this.
Come on, way too much sauce on this.
Way too much sauce.
Yeah. I get it. You got to keep people interested in the price. But again, having the same person parrot the same thing is actually what, to me, is what causes people to like kind of get away or turn away from crypto. Like, all right, this person doesn't know what they're talking about.
Calm down, bro.
Calm down. We see it. Okay, Tom Lee, we got it. You having fun, and you know the price is going up to 27,000 now. All right, Iranian general calls for use of crypto to evade sanctions. I think I saw somewhere just on a quick news blurb yesterday, one of the Iranian was the prime minister or deputy or something or generals, one of them caught the coronavirus possibly.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Atlanta, California, a few places. So.
Oh man. This week, an Iranian general called for a unique way to bypass the sanctions on his country enforced by the United States. Saeed Muhammad, commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, called for Iran to use cryptocurrencies to evade the economic sanctions. According to the Telegram channel of CoinNet.ir, a crypto news organization based in Iran, it looks like the general addressed the crowd, and they caught this, which was translated. What was that all about?
It looks as though they were basically saying, yes, we're the target of U.S. sanctions. They've been placed under individual sanctions from the U.S. Treasury Department over and over, and they have basically isolated them from the global financial system. When you put somebody's back against the wall, they are going to do what they have to do. Yeah. And this is what it seems like is going on with Iran right now. Some of the crypto addresses that were sanctioned, they were even Iranian nationals. So this is something that we fought, or our country has fought against for a while. But we did a story saying how crypto is halal. We talked about how Iran adoption is increasing. And any country who does not have a financial system, you think they'll just lay down and die? No. The point of life is living. So if survival is number one thing and they can't survive with your currency, they'll create their own. And I believe we're seeing this now. And they've been laying the groundwork for some broader use of cryptocurrencies, which should be interesting to see. The currency wars are coming, man. Yeah, it looks like earlier this week, the Intergovernmental Financial Action Task Force, which, by the way, we're not covering this story today. I saw a couple other countries that caught me off guard that's working with the Financial Action Task Force on crypto. So I guess they're getting down, they're laying down, or they're getting down so they won't have to lay down. But it looked like earlier this week, the Intergovernmental Financial Action Task Force, which whenever you hear intergovernmental and the U.S. is involved, is basically the U.S.'s show by and large, unless it's a shithole country we want to be involved in. Yeah. I know this by experience, people. Yeah. They added Iran to a blacklist. Again, we need to change that word to either a white list or a red list. You call it what you want. Yeah. Of countries not complying with anti-terrorism financing requirements. Again, I'm not about to get on gang's bedside because as we saw, they already threw one guy in prison for allegedly helping North Korea evade sanctions by telling them about crypto. So I don't want to get down that path. But kind of piggybacking what you said, I mean, you're going to add countries, an entire country. Like really listen to that. You're going to add millions of people to a list and tell them they can't use certain financing requirements all because they're not playing ball when we're in their backyard. And they already don't like you. Right. It's not as though it's just coming out of the blue. Right. A lot of times they don't already like you. So again, whether you agree or disagree, the basis of this story is that technology is here to stay. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. Can the U.S.'s threat of military intervention, can the U.S.'s threat of putting them on a bed, hey, you're going to be on this list where you got to go sit in time out, will that be enough to stop countries or people in those countries from inventing a new currency that at this point literally takes 20 minutes on a laptop to do? Yeah. 20 minutes on a laptop, you can have you a new crypto spun out, and as long as you get people to use it, it is real. So will it be enough? I mean, as you said, the currency wars have officially began now that they're adding these countries on these lists for financing requirements. Oh, yeah. It's getting crazy, people. It's getting crazy. We got CEOs. We got like 10 CEOs that just quit. We got coronavirus coming. We got sanctions. Man, hey, this is... Hey, but make sure you don't got your guns, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No guns, though. Yeah. You don't want anything to protect yourself. I will say it's actually pretty interesting to see... again, I don't know how the Iranian government does their business, how the general sits as far as the general also a political figure or just military figure. And the reason why I say that is because it's interesting to see a military general talk about, and I guess it kind of goes in this bailiwick where you talk about sanctions because it's military intervention, but to see a general talking about your monetary policy for your country. Could you imagine one of our generals or admirals came out and said, hey,
hey, you want to stop or do something different, then we need to, we need to change around who we give our money to, how we give our money to them, and all that. So I'm not used to really seeing that, especially publicly. So that's pretty interesting as well.
Oh yeah,
that means their military's now starting like, we ain't playing this
thing
game.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
This is what we're doing. All right, I strongly prefer not to use these titles for people in government, but it looks like Cointelegraph cannot help themselves. Crypto Mom, whoever that is, accuses SEC of shifting standards following Bitcoin ETF rejection.
Yeah.
Just follow this now. This is about Commissioner with Hester Pierce, right? The SEC Commissioner. They're calling the SEC Commissioner Crypto Mom. Cointelegraph, come on,
man.
Y'all been in here way too long.
I mean, did they give it to her, or did she give herself that nickname?
I
Because
don't
if you give
know.
yourself a nickname, it's kind of...
Even if they gave it to himself to recognize it, don't even recognize it. Just put Commissioner of the SEC accuses her own team basically of a coup.
Crypto,
coup.
Say
A
crypto mom.
coup.
Yeah, let's say crypto mom hates her coworkers.
There we go. There we go. What's going on with this story?
Yeah, well, it looks like here that Hester Pierce has finally realized that the SEC, just because she's the commissioner, doesn't mean that they're going to approve ETFs simply because you work for them and you like cryptocurrency. They're still not going to do it. She stated she has ongoing concerns over market manipulation. They stated they have ongoing concerns over market manipulation and lack of surveillance, which we've heard those excuses before. And honestly, at this point in 2020, I think we're at a point where ETF we can make one.
Right.
But I believe with the SEC, it's a waiting game. They want to figure out how they can get you to pay them, to get you under the regulatory thumb. And NYSE ARCA, they have submitted a proposed rule change to allow the listing and trade of Wilshire Phoenix's United States Bitcoin and Treasury Investment Trust, which is the trust that did not get this ETF. They had Treasury bonds with Bitcoin, and they hope to address the SEC's concerns of market manipulation by rebalancing into bonds during periods of high volatility. So they had a plan for a plan. Like they were all the way detailed, and they still said, we still can't protect you from fraudulent and manipulative acts. Even though we just watched the federal government
I was about to go
print
to it.
$1 trillion, pump the market,
That's
all to
fraudulent.
heaven, and then a man-made virus all of a sudden is sending us straight to hell. What is manipulation? if that's
Man-made
not-
virus? What happened to SARS? Bird flu? Ebola?
Man-made.
I thought Ebola was a couple years ago.
Just floated away. Just went away. Like
There's so many different viruses in the last 10 years I have so many questions about.
yeah, whatever. If it's supposed to take me out, then
I was
come
about
on
to say,
with
if
it.
it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Come on with it, bro. We
Look,
only
you
here
can't
for a
fight.
little bit anyway.
And ain't gonna be no war on coronavirus. You're not getting my tax money for that too, okay?
Nope, not
at
at
some
all.
point, Mother Nature is going to win. But I want to key on that. What you said, the fraudulent manipulative acts and practices that they're saying is not enough proof.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we can go back to something as systemic and structural as Equifax. They had the country's social security numbers and lost over half of them, over 150 million social security numbers. Like, they can't protect themselves. We were talking about a story earlier where it was Microsoft or something somebody used Bitcoin, or you talked about a story yesterday where they got hacked, whatever.
Yep.
Fraudulent practice. Like you can't. Criminal's going to criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Criminals
many times
do
I'm gonna
crime,
say
man.
this.
What?
Like you will never be able to protect yourself. If anything, you can. I don't want to say protect yourself, but if anything, you got preventive measures. But to say we have to do A through Z to make sure nothing will happen. Well, what about AA, BB, CC? Like there's always going to be something. So that, and then also. What about Commissioner Pierce? One of the things she said, quote, "This line of disapprovals leads me to conclude that this commission is unwilling to approve the listing of any product that will provide access to the market for Bitcoin, that no filing will meet the ever-shifting standards that this commission insists on applying to Bitcoin-related products and only to Bitcoin-related products." Now, for that,
They're making it up as they go, people.
I'll give you a hand clap.
Just making it up as they go.
A few things. First, I will give you a hand clap for saying that, even though I also know how the government works. And just because she said that doesn't make her crypto mom. She is the commissioner, quarterback of the team. You get the praise and you get the bad. For the presses, you got to say, hey, I won the game or I lost the game. To me, this is kind of the same thing. She's basically announcing something we've said since we started on this show. I don't know how many times we've talked to lawyers who said, hey, they're literally balling up ETF sheets or balling up
COVID.
whatever funds. They were telling verbatim. I was told from someone over who's working with the SEC. They're balling them up. They're balling up any registration sheets, anything, any licenses, any questionnaires, and they're tossing them in the trash bin. All right. Yep. So for the commissioner to say this, she's either saying what she's already known, just so people can kind of see her as like, hey, I'm just trying, guys. Or she's actually, for the first time in 2020, coming to the realization that gang, her unit is full of corruption and they aren't letting anything go over it. And again, this is we've been saying this since 2017, live, that the SEC has been doing this. The commissioner 3 years later in 2020 for the first time is now saying, hey, I think the SEC is actually doing this. No,
Jesus
duh.
Christ. How long does it take?
Like, it took you 3 years to realize that?
You had to get hired by him to figure that out?
Right.
Come on, man.
But again, this is one of those things where, to me, it does make me think that an adoption process, unfortunately, will be slower than most people think, because there's still things like this that should be, everyone should know about. There's like, hey, no duh, this is going on, that they're just now coming to the realization, or at least publicly coming to the realization of the first time in 2020. Yep. I think we're still far away because of things like this. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, hopefully if she gets in there, because she did just get hired, if she gets in there, can make some changes. We'll see. But now she knows who she's working with.
Right, yeah. Gang. Speaking of the SEC, now it turns out we were right about something else. As we were telling people when everyone was talking about, and pardon me, I realized I don't have the comments, so I knew I was forgetting something today. I'll throw them on in a second. But when we were talking about Reggie Middleton, and some people were saying, hey, is this a racist thing that he's going to, the SEC is going after Reggie Middleton? It turns out, no. As you can see, the SEC are just all around assholes. They
just want money.
They just want money.
How hard is that?
It's just criminals. Criminals just want money most of the time. They don't want nothing else. But that's being proven again, not only because Commissioner Pierce says something, but it also looks like Steven Seagal has been charged by the SEC for promoting a 2018 ICO. What is going on with that?
Oh, yeah. Well, Steven Seagal, he took the bait, as we like to say, in 2018.
Yeah, we did.
We got 1,000 ICO requests to try and join and do our ICO.
We really did. We could have pumped out so many ICOs.
We could have pumped out at least
and this is why we did it, though. Good call. Hey,
exactly.
This is why
because
we did it.
We discussed it for hours. We were like, we could be quick millionaires off of this, or you could make some money and then spend the next 3 years in litigation, which is exactly what's happening to these people right now.
Point.
We wouldn't have been able to do anything we're doing, at this point, because Steven Seagal, he did not disclose payments received in return for promoting the token launched by B2G, aka Bitcoin 2 Gen, in February of that year.
I'm supposed to tell you, I'm sorry, my fault.
So this is the offer, though. They offered him $250,000 in cash, and then $750,000 worth of BTG tokens. So $1 million total to promote their ICO, and that included social media posts telling people not to miss out. This is the next token movement. This is the wave. All those
Bitcoin.
All those things to pump ICOs. And it's Steven Seagal, so he has a fan base. If you are a fan of ponytails, I'm pretty sure Steven Seagal got a whole army of ponytails behind him that invested in this.
I am one of them. Listen, I am a Steven Seagal fan because of his. I always tell people this: if I could be a crappy actor and make a ton of action movies that sell like Steven Seagal, I'll be a happy man.
Oh yeah.
So I am one of those guys.
Exactly. with subpar karate moves.
Exactly. Run out of breath.
Steven Seagal. Yeah, exactly. Steven Seagal.
But seriously, I know he got $1 million for this.
$1 million.
Bro, we gotta ask Maccabee how much he done made over just off some promotion.
Just off some promotion. So they were, these investors, they were entitled to know about payments to Seagal, supposedly. And they were promised to endorse that investment so they could decide whether or not to be biased. This, of course, comes from the chief of the SEC's Enforcement Division Cyber Unit. BTG has been compelled to issue a statement refuting accusations it was a pyramid scheme. And a month later, Tennessee actually warned the state's residents about the token project. So honestly, this is just another run-of-the-mill ICO trying to pump it and dump it. And they got, like I said, they got a lot of noobs in this market who are basically lifetime holders because most of these coins aren't coming back. And if you didn't make any money off of it then, I wouldn't hold my breath for like 90% of them. Right. Some of them may, but a lot of them really were just catching on the wave, pump and dump, throw up a website, throw up a white paper. You can do it in a couple days if you have a couple people. So misspellings, terrible. I mean, not non-secure websites, like no SSL lock, like nothing. So it was this was coming, and we've seen this. Hey, it's not even the simple stuff.
Unsecure as hell.
Yeah, a bunch of WordPress sites with terrible.
Yeah, who put up your website?
Terrible
like
basics. Yeah, and it's like.
And they were getting money though, which is crazy. You getting $2 to $3 million coming in on an unsecured site.
Yeah. Terrible. So, like I said before, our strategy has always been to be organic. All this making it overnight stuff was the ICO market for a quick 6 months, and then We said it. As soon as they got back, as soon as the government came
We
back
really did
in January 2019, they were stomping on everybody's face. So yes, I'm sorry, in 2018. So they were stomping on everybody. So good to see here that this is sort of the reckoning of the ICO market. But I mean, Steven Seagal is just going to end up paying out, and that's it.
It's crazy too. First, a couple things. I want to know how did they know exactly how much he was getting? I wonder if Steven Seagal went ahead and cooperated, or did the company did. Also, I want to, it says a lot. They can go in after Steven Seagal. I mean, he's not the same as he was once back in the 90s, of course, nothing like that. But hey, he's still got a little weight. So, and last but not least, I'm looking at this last quote. Celebrities are not allowed to use their social media influence to tout securities while appropriately disclosing their compensation. Noted Christina Littman, chief of the SEC Enforcement Division Cyber Unit. I mean, look, a little bit off track of crypto, but just if you're really going to let another adult tell you what you can and can't do, I mean, this is back in the day stuff.
Yeah.
Like, celebrities are not allowed to do this. Like, you can't do this without, no. It's called the end user, the investor, whoever you are who's kicking out your money. You need to do your due diligence.
Gotta do
no
your
one's
DD.
doing it for you in this market. I think this is a good thing because the more people who get got, the smarter our population will become. What do they say? You're not going to burn yourself twice, basically, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, hot hand make a soft ass? I don't know. I just made that one up, but it sounds good.
That's a true statement.
There we go.
Say it all the time.
All right, some shout outs. What's going on, Sergeant Crypto, Dylan Darchinville, Tony Noli. Darchinville said Bitcoin not going to 3K. Mr. Gibson Sr. Sergeant Crypto said calling for skipping sanctions is a call for bomb on your head. Oh yeah, stack sats, hilarious.
Heard that before.
It really is though. Tony Nolly said weak hands. Evan, what's going on? Good morning. Crypto
Morning.
Culture. Leroy Forbes. Crypto Culture said LOL 3K. Stop it. Stop it. Sergeant Crypto said Tom Lee forever wrong. If I got ish wrong like him, I'd be NJP'd or thrown in the brig or at least fired.
Exactly. He's just
exactly.
keep sending out newsletters and research and where they. I mean, I've gotten them in the past. I stopped reading them. But yeah.
Kevin Hodges, Cool Works from Atlanta. P Phil 56 was going on. Cool Works said congrats on all the notoriety, Zay. Kind of overdue. I saw you on some more art. You making the crypto what is it? The crypto celebrity this week.
Yeah, I guess just for this week, then it'll be somebody else.
Nah, we gonna hold on to it. Warriors, what's going on, Ryan Cooper? I'm getting better. Remember this 1 p.m. airtime. Listen, don't remember the time. Just remember we're on. We try to be on every day because we mixed up. P-Man Van, what's up? Jizzy Max says sanctions only hurt regular people, not the ones in charge. Anyway, of course, you know what time it is. P-Man Van also said, unfortunately, this could end badly, not really good for Bitcoin. That's why I said it's going to, at the very least, slow down adoption, unless the only thing that could really aggressively, I think, accelerate adoption is if we finally have, which we've been waiting on a long time, that's for our regular market to correct itself, which has been a big pump and dump for the longest. I mean, as Bitcoin's they said, we just put 700 and something billion dollars into it.
Man.
Could you imagine if the price of Bitcoin is falling so low? We say, all right, well, we're just going to erase a million of them.
Yeah,
like that's basically what it did, but the opposite. So whatever. What's going on, Jonathan Lopez from Brazil? What's going on? First time seeing you here.
Oh yeah.
P-Man Van, don't moms always stop from doing what you want to do?
Trying to kill the fun.
I guess not this time.
She's a cool mom.
Okay, my bad. Crypto and Culture, yeah, Bitcoin's they correct me. She did just become the commissioner. P-Man Van said, congrats on Bitcoin in Black America.
Appreciate it, P-Man Van. Long time viewer.
Yep, and said SEC is there to keep the money in the hands of the people that have it. Don't let anyone in the game. Again, I'm not even mad at the SEC and all. Like, all it does is show me what most people kind of already knew. If you're kind of smart about it, you're like, is our government corrupt? And it's like, yeah, they are.
Yeah, come on, man.
But it does give me hope because I've seen all the government moves and the regulators and everything and everybody's doing, it tells me one thing. If you can make it over the hump and become very wealthy, our government is here to protect you.
Yeah.
No poor people going to come around you. Nobody's going to infringe on your business.
Ain't no brokies.
Right. Ain't going to be no competition. You'll be good to go. Yeah. So if you can make it over that hump, it's the key, though.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
All right. Oh, that's hilarious. Crypto and Culture says they got that Black History Month treatment from the crypto community.
Oh, yeah.
You really, hey, there we go. Perfect time. All right, last but not least, ending on a great news story. Half of Cash App's revenue now comes from Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, Cash App.
Oh yeah.
Cash App me that Bitcoin. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, the beginning of what we could say is the Bitcoin revolution starts with onboarding, getting users, making it easy. We've always said Bitcoin, the technology is fine, but adoption has to come from these companies being able to onboard users. And what easier way to buy Bitcoin than Cash App? The CEO of Cash App, or Square, I should say, Jack Dorsey. He has been a big proponent.
Familiar?
Sounds very familiar. Shout out to him for the shout out for me.
Hey, Jack.
About the book, Bitcoin in Black America. He's a fan of Bitcoin, has been. He started Square Crypto, and they reported that their Bitcoin revenue for last quarter was 178 million, and their revenue for the other gross profits was 183 million. So about half of their revenue, up 50% over the past 2 quarters. So if you're a business owner, or if you're somebody who wants to accept Bitcoin, again, I don't know how many times I got to reiterate it. If you make Bitcoin a part of your business plan, a part of your adoption strategy, you will usually gain way more value over time than if you only accept fiat. And honestly, I love the fact that Jack Dorsey started to put the Bitcoin hashtag and also the
Bitcoin B.
The Bitcoin B. Little things like that creep into the culture. That's what people don't understand is when you see that, all of a sudden you see it over and over, it becomes regular, and that becomes a part of mainstream, and that's where we go from there as far as payments. So shout out to him, and shout out to Cash App, making it very easy to buy Bitcoin. 2 clicks of a button, you can buy Bitcoin right now.
They're also talking about how it's promoted by TikTok influencers.
Yeah.
With one campaign generating 136.5 million views. Wow. So yeah, Bitcoin, as we always say, is here to stay.
Oh yeah. And as far as the market goes, Square itself is up 6% in the stock market.
There we go.
Bitcoin helps everybody.
Cool Works laughing about the No Jack slander. Hey, he made it in. This is what it's up. Wire Sparks. My 20-something nephews buy all their Bitcoin via Cash App. I can see that, yeah. I have yet to download TikTok, fellas. I haven't either, Ryan Cooper, but then again, I am also only on Twitter once a quarter, so I can't talk.
Yeah, shout out to Shannon Allen. He got me to download TikTok when I was in Miami.
I need to get it.
Never looked at the platform. I just downloaded it. I was like, I'm going to get on there, come up with a strategy and use it, but I just haven't yet.
Yeah.
Will do, though.
So many apps out there, man.
It's too many, man. I can't keep up.
All right, other than that, that is the show for today. As always, thanks for watching. And again, tomorrow we are going to be doing that interview with McAfee. Depending on when we do it and when it finishes, uploading all that, we'll either have it posted for you on Friday or we'll get it posted for you on Monday to start your week off. For the comments of the day, if you have questions you want us to ask McAfee, we're going to cover a plethora of things. We try not to miss out anything. We ask the real questions without being, stepping over too many boundaries. But if you have any questions as well, you think about or you want to ask, since we're not doing it live, make sure you put those questions in the comments after this video so we can ask them those questions. We can say your name. Hey, this question's from so-and-so, from Cool Works, P-Man Bam, Jizzy Mac, Sergeant Crypto, Trek. We can say your name, we can ask the question, and he can get the answer. So let us know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, you got anything else?
Nothing else for me, people. Y'all have a good Thursday, baby.
There we go. Happy Thursday. Cheers.
Cheers.